Hasn't Superman revealed his identity like 20 fucking times?
Is he allowed to say These are the books you're looking for here at Midtown Comics TV. It's another new comic book day video, and we're here with Kareem and Kristen, and we've each got 4 books, and we're gonna pitch all 12 of these books to our good buddy Doughboy Rich over there, and he's gonna decide which are the top 10 of the week from bottom to top. So we're gonna try our hardest to get our picks in there, and we'll see how Rich shakes them out.
Okay, so I did Green Lantern Season 2 by Grant Morrison and Liam Sharp. The art is gorgeous in this. It just drips off the page. And this is sort of a continuation, a space opera of what they've been doing. A lot of different alien races, a lot of different intergalactic what have you. This is very much after the War of the Green Lanterns, and the Guardians need recruitment because they're space cops. So Hal Jordan goes to this war-torn planet, and he gets a new partner, and they basically go on this giant adventure, and a lot of intrigue and mythology of the new Guardians. So
Of the galaxy?
Yeah. Well, not of the galaxy, that's a different company. Get your education right, Rich.
Grant Morrison.
Grant Morrison is amazing. He's a god. Anyways, a lot of different cosmos, a lot of different adventure and stuff. If you know your Green Lantern mythology, you'll love this. So pick it up.
I don't know my Green Lantern mythology.
Even if you don't. And HBO Max is doing a DC universe kind of thing, and this is perfect. Like, adapt this. DC, just take this.
Is it based on this book?
It's not, but
4 out of 10. Next.
Okay, so I'm doing Marvel today. And as you know, maybe you guys are big Guardians of the Galaxy fans and you've seen and experienced this character before. Well, this is kind of in the same vein of that. So I know that the last time we saw Nebula in the MCU movies, she kind of had a change of heart and she was thinking about doing some more positive things. Well, if you like that version of the character, you will not like this book because she is back as a not a very nice person.
Good.
Which I know appeals to you. So this is Nebula #1 from writer Vita Ayala and artist Claire Rowe. It's a fun story that follows Nebula being a psychopath, essentially. So out there in the universe, some crazy scientist has decided to create a program that can predict the future by like Terminator style, looking at probabilities, like how can I win this fight? And Nebula decides, well, I'm part machine, I'm part Terminator, I suppose, and I would like that. So she storms the ship, kills everybody there, takes a child as hostage. I know you like that. In fact, it injects the child with a bomb of nanites that would destroy her body, and holds this child hostage against her father.
She injects a kid with a bomb?
Yeah.
6 out of 10. Next.
Anyway, so Nebula decides that she upgrades herself, and
yeah,
she can
6 out of 10. Next.
Okay, so are you familiar with the Dark Horse comic Blackwood?
I'm timing you.
He's not, I'm assuming, and neither was I. But when I picked up this book, I quickly realized that this is something I'm jumping into the middle of. Are you a fan of Harry Potter? Or magic in general?
We did this last week.
Magic schools? Do you like magic schools?
Magic school bus.
So, would you be interested in a magic school where their head dean was murdered at the end of the last series of books, and now this one picks up to find out who murdered that dean and who murdered a classmate?
Kind of sounds pretty standard magic school stuff.
It's standard magic school stuff.
I like the back.
It's a beautifully illustrated book.
Well, look at the back.
Ah!
Way cooler than the front.
Much cooler than the front.
Much cooler than the front. 4 out of 10. They don't know how to lay out a book.
I'll take the 4.
No, go. I'll let you go for a couple more seconds. Sell me on it.
Magic Hippie?
3 out of 10.
Woohoo! It's a good book. Check this out.
All right, so this is Superman Heroes #1. This is a sort of a memoir story. So if you're familiar with what Superman is going through right now, he revealed his secret identity, which I don't know how anyone could just take seriously that it's clearly just Superman with glasses on. But I've always said that. But he revealed his secret identity to the rest of the world, and this is basically an aftermath. Basically, everyone is sort of having a perspective on this. Batman is just being Batman about it.
Has the Superman revealed his identity like 20 fucking times?
Is he allowed to say so Batman is a guy who's always matched Superman in different ways, except he doesn't have powers. But he's kind of envious of Superman in this because he can't reveal his secrets because
he has parents.
Yeah, and because his family will get killed by the Joker and everybody. So Superman can protect his family.
That's why Batman wasted Alfred last week or 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, and
that is what happened, right?
And there's a scene in here where Jimmy, who's Superman's pal, is kind of like, hey, you've been lying to me this whole years, like for the entire time.
Jimmy Olsen's upset?
Yeah.
4 out of 10. Next.
Already gave me a 4 out of 10.
Okay, so, do you like Alex Ross?
Don't do
That's
the Mario
a
thing.
silly question. Obviously, you love Alex Ross. He's super talented. As you can see, he did this amazing cover here. Would you like to read a story written by Alex Ross? Intriguing. So this is from Alex Ross and Jim Kruger, who
Love Jim Kruger.
I also love.
He's doing a signing at the store.
He is. That's a little spoiler since we haven't officially announced it yet. But
Yeah,
you
who
guys
gives a
can
shit?
know. Pick up this book because you're going to want to come to the Jim Kruger signing. This is Marvel's X. This is on the Earth X dimension.
What's Earth X?
It's a different Earth, obviously.
Everybody's making X's behind the camera.
Anyways, everybody in this world has been gifted with mutant powers, superpowers, except for one human kid. And he feels kind of alone. I mean, wouldn't you if everybody
should.
could do all this crazy stuff and you couldn't? So he decides that he's going to seek out the OG superheroes like Captain America, Spider-Man, and obviously the one place where all those cool people live, and many other cool people, is New York City. So this poor kid from Ohio decides to try to help save the world by heading to New York City
Does he find Captain America?
He hasn't found Captain America yet, but he does find Spider-Man and Daredevil in this issue.
I can't even get
which is
customer
super cool.
service on the phone for things I'm trying to do. These guys find superheroes when they're in Ohio visiting New York.
Yeah. Well, first of all, he
So
was
unrealistic.
wearing a mask disguised as Green Goblin, so that in
P.S.
itself would draw.
I'm going to interrupt. Alex Ross is from Ohio. That explains why the kid's from Ohio.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
That's a fun fact.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a cute story. It's
Is it?
yeah, it is. First of all, Spider-Man's lost his faith in humanity, and Daredevil is the one, as like the kid meets both of them, and he's like, wow, I kind of like
Sam
Daredevil
Web shooters
more
down.
because Daredevil's a nice guy, and Spider-Man kind of seems like a grumpopotamus. You know what I mean? So you get to see
Spider-Man is
Spider-Man.
a grumpopotamus.
Yeah, he has a kid. Did you know Spider-Man has a daughter?
Yeah, for like 10 years.
Well, I'm saying, and she's like almost a teenager
You know
now,
why
and she's
Daredevil-
wearing a cool Black Widow shirt, which not the biggest fan of Black
does this have to
Widow,
do with the
but
book?
I'm just saying that was really cool. Like I was flipping through and I was like, wow, that's a cool thing that his daughter
Daredevil
May
can afford
is
his
wearing.
rent. I understand Spider-Man's plight. 5 out of 10.
Great book, pick it up.
All right, so this is 2000XX. No, it's not a Mega Man story.
Oh.
Come on, anybody
I
get
was-
that one?
I
Anyone?
thought-
Anyone Mega Man fans? Aww.
I'm a Mega Man fan, but I thought you said 2000XXX.
He was born on a table in 2000 XX.
Aren't we all?
This is from Image Comics. This is a story that takes place in a not too distant future. Everybody
How
has
distant?
however many distance XX is from 20.
It's 2020. Is it 2020?
I would say this is probably like 2035. Let's say.
We ain't gonna be
This
here.
is also book number 3, so it's possible that they covered that, and I didn't know that because I'm starting here on book number 3. All right, so this book is about how people in the future kind of get telekinesis. I guess some of them, they kind of, it just comes up in them, and others, they take a pill or they take a drug to do it. This follows the story of Myrrh, female who, this female right here, who just realized that she's got these powers, and there's a group of people trying to show her how to use these powers. She keeps thinking that it's gonna like rip her apart, or she's gonna rip things apart. There's one cool scene where she lifts a dead mouse. You know you love it. Dead mice everywhere. There's a little
Why
bit.
is that cool?
There's a little bit of nudity in this book. There are exactly 2 boobs and 1 penis. So watch out.
So 1 full set.
It's a fun read. There's a lot of dialogue. There's a lot going on in this book, and you get a really good sense of everything that's going on in this world through the dialogue that the characters have with each other.
Stop there. You sold me.
There's also gang-related violence, and one guy almost gets killed. We'll see what happens.
One dude almost gets killed?
Yes, but not the dude with the floppy penis.
Thanks for the anatomy lesson.
I like anatomy. 8 out of 10.
8 out of 10! Inches.
Okay, so this is Harley Quinn and the Birds of Prey, which is a timely book for a timely time right now because the Birds of Prey movie is out. And if you love it, get this.
I enjoyed it. I like the movie.
So Rich loved it.
So why would I read something after?
So if you're an OG Birds of Prey fan and you kind of like the Batgirl and the Huntress and all that, you might want to skip this. If you're open to new things, though, if you love the Harley Quinn character, if you love the Joker, who Joaquin Phoenix won an Oscar for last night, pick this up. So basically, Harley Quinn is broke. Her friend is hospitalized. She's losing her house, and she needs money.
Harley had a house?
Yeah, Harley had a house. And she needs money, and who better to steal the money from?
Love to see that closing arrangement. You know,
Who better to steal the money from than her
Be
ex, who is the Clown Prince of Crime. So she goes into Gotham, and the Birds of Prey are kind of forced to protect her. And keep in mind, this is not the old Birds of Prey. This is the kind of
Who
the
wrote
new,
this?
This is Amanda Connor and Jimmy
Palmiotti.
Palmiotti.
Pulmonary. Jimmy Pulmonary disease.
The powerhouse team behind the Harley Quinn series. So this is a Black Label book. So it's a lot of cursing, nudity, killing, drugs, all that stuff. All that good stuff.
Is there?
That we love.
I don't know, man. Mario's last book, look, it's got 2 boobs and one floppy penis.
It's promises the Joker. That's all.
Joker penis?
You'll get what you deserve.
Green pubes and all. Signing off.
Green pubes, 5 out of 10.
Okay, so for my third pick from Marvel, we have Marvel Tales featuring Wolverine. So these are 3 big stories that predominantly feature Wolverine. They're iconic issues. So it's Uncanny X-Men number 162, X-Men number 4, and X-Men number 25. So the first story, super iconic story, where Wolverine is battling a bunch of shoot, I can't think of what they're called.
So
giant
iconic.
wasp people. Come on.
The Brood.
The Brood. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. See, I knew see, sometimes you need a little help from everybody else. So yeah, this is the iconic issue where Wolverine figures out that all of the X-Men have been captured and have been infected with the eggs of the Brood, and eventually they're gonna hatch and everyone's gonna die. And so it's a series of him fighting through this kind of prehistoric planet.
What's the next story?
The second story was, oh my gosh, now my brain is like.
Is it the one where Wolverine gets the adamantium ripped out of him? I think that's X-Men 25.
Yes,
right?
Yes.
Yes. Why is that considered a classic Wolverine story when he gets owned up, down, and sideways by Magneto?
Yeah, so that was the third one. Yeah, it felt more like a Magneto story than a Wolverine story, but seeing the adamantium get ripped out of him was pretty freaking crazy. What I did like about these stories a lot
Adam or Andy Kubert art?
is I don't know. Would you like me to look it up for you?
Yeah, I would. You're selling me on it.
I know. And just as we open it, it's the the scene with him getting all the adamantium ripped out. Quite violently.
Why would you consider him that the last story of your read this and learn about Wolverine?
Yeah, well, because there's a lot of really cool monologue
It's a great
moments.
story. I remember having all those issues with the hologram cards on. Oh man,
Yeah, there are
getting that nostalgia high right now.
a lot of
So
great
nice.
appearances in these ones.
Get that foil too.
You know, I don't know.
All right, it's taking too long. What's the middle story?
You've distracted me. The Red Omega. So the
Omega Red.
Omega Red, yes. And
That was Jim Lee art, right?
it was. Yeah, it is, in fact.
Why that
it's-
Brood story though? Who the hell?
No, because it's all monologue. It's all like Wolverine
It's
thinking
all
to
a
himself.
7 out of 10.
It's Wolverine. Come on, with an Inyuk Lee cover. What, 7? Unacceptable.
That's
Give
not.
me a 7.5
Don't
here.
give me
Come on,
definitive
8 at
Wolverine stories
least.
by having them get worked up, down, and sideways. Thank you. Next.
So for my next indie pick full of weird characters that people like Kristen love, I've got this #1 book from Boom Studios called Alienated. This is your... Okay, you've heard this story before. A bunch of kids out of school, they're slightly alienated, they don't feel like they have friends, but they find each other in the woods one day, and they come across...
Every
Use the title in describing it.
indie book.
I get it now. They feel alienated, and the title of the book is Alienated.
Why is
it
every-
makes so much more sense now.
Pause. Why does every indie book have kids hanging out in the woods?
Because indie books are written by people who are in touch with their youthful nature. Bam. So, these 3 alienated kids find each other in the woods one day, and they don't just find each other, they also find, wait for it, a dripping, glowing alien egg that they all kind of touch at the same time, and then they start hearing each other's thoughts inside their heads. And then they go back to that alien egg later, and a bully comes along.
I'm texting while you're describing this.
The alien egg rips the bully into nothingness, and then uses its life force to then become something else, and that's where the book ends. I'm interested to see what happens next. Again, maybe you didn't feel like an alienated youth who needed to find an alien egg in a forest. I know I did. I wanted to find an alien egg in a forest.
No, if I wanted eggs, I would just go to the grocery store like a normal person.
You can't just get alien eggs at the store. You have to go to the forest.
2 out of 10.
All right, this is Batman Pennyworth's #1. Sorry, Batman Pennyworth RIP #1. You know you like Batman, Rich.
I don't like Alfred.
So Alfred has
Look
died.
behind you.
Alfred has died, and the Bat family is. This is sort of after their funeral. You could say a bar wake. They're going to a bar to kind of.
Was there funeral fudge?
The funeral is not actually in this, but this is the aftermath of the funeral. And they go to a bar to kind of remember their friend. And, you know, Alfred was
Who?
Alfred.
But who's there?
Oh, the Bat family. So you got Barbara Gordon, you got Jason Todd, who's a dick. You got Dick Grayson,
Who's not a dick?
and who's not a dick. He's now Rick Grayson. Stop it, DC. Stop! And then you got Damian Wayne, and you got Bruce Wayne, who's Batman. We all know who's Batman.
Who's Batman?
Bruce Wayne, who's Batman. You know? Duh. Anyways,
The billionaire?
so they all just share their Alfred stories, and there's this really tender story about Damian Wayne, who's sort of like a jerk. And he's being sort of, a bratty kid, and Batman chews him out like a dad does. And he's like, no patrol for 2 weeks, and he sneaks out, and he beats a bunch of ass, and he sees Batman, and he's like,
He's a bunch of what?
he beats people's asses. And Damian sees Batman, and he's like
Like
oh
a
shit,
bongo.
this is my dad. I'm in trouble now. And it's Alfred, and Alfred is in the bat suit. And it's sort of like really emotional and tender.
What?
Yeah, and he's like, I won't tell your dad. You know what I mean? So Alfred's very much the glue of the Bat family.
Is that a flashback, or is dead Alfred in the bat
No,
suit?
it's a flashback. It's a flashback. They're all sharing their stories. Like, remember that really
Remember that time Alfred dressed up like me?
Remember that one good scene in
That's
the
like when Lando steals Han's clothes.
No one notices that except like.
How you not notice that?
because I'm young, rich. Anyway, this is good.
And you're out.
No, let me share.
All right, show me some stuff. I'll give you another minute.
Look at Batman, Bruce Wayne's face on this.
Can I see his face on this? Ugh, sad Batman. In other news, water, wet.
So, in closing, death is a laughingstock in comics. It's a dumb motif. We all know these characters are going to come back, but when you can make me feel like this, it matters.
The back of all the DC books this month have Wonder Woman, Linda Carter. You can enjoy that.
Tell us who's your
More
favorite
than this
Wonder
book.
Woman. Debatable.
3 out of 10. Screw you, Alfred.
This might be a silly question, but can I say love on the spectrum? Can I say that? These
What
characters
spectrum?
On the autism spectrum, right?
Yeah, why not?
I can't talk about that.
Why can't?
I don't,
Right.
touch that.
Is it legitimate?
I thought you were like referencing an album.
Is it legitimate autistic love?
So,
Okay, go for it.
okay, so for my final pick this week, I am coming directly for your heart. I'm tugging at your heartstrings
Ready to
with
be
a
fucking disappointed.
with a wonderfully crafted little love story in the world of Napoleon Dynamite, called Napoleon Dynamite Valentine's Day Special.
I hate Napoleon Dynamite.
And I'm gonna read the rest of this out there too. You're more magic than a gosh darn liger. Or you're more magic than a gosh darn liger.
Do you like Napoleon Dynamite, Mario?
I love the movie Napoleon
Did you like
Dynamite.
Napoleon Dynamite?
I love
What about
the.
you?
too.
Everybody loves Napoleon
See, I'm with you.
Dynamite.
I didn't screw this movie.
Again, if you didn't grow up as an alienated, awkward teen, there are certain things that you're not gonna like.
There's no teen that isn't alienated and awkward.
If you grew up to be an angry doughboy, you're not gonna be cool with teenage love. It's just that's how it works.
That's true.
So this book is a cute little homage to Napoleon Dynamite. It is written, and I want to give a little shout out there to Megan Brown, who really captured the voices of all the characters in this movie, or from this movie and from this franchise. And if you're a fan of Napoleon and Pedro and Deb and want to see what their next kind of steps in life would be,
Yeah, you
this
want to
is-
spend money on something 15 years old? Go ahead.
It's a very small amount of money on a nostalgic tale that reminds
back.
people that you don't have to be. It's a heart. It says to and from.
It's a Valentine's Day card.
It's to you and it's from me. You can give this to a loved one for Valentine's Day. You can give this to
If you hate them.
a friend who loves Napoleon Dynamite. I'm a big old fan of Napoleon Dynamite. I love that movie. I even enjoyed the cartoon that they had. And this captures
Cartoon?
perfectly. You never saw the Napoleon Dynamite cartoon?
Obviously not.
Obviously not.
When
A lot of
when
people
did that
didn't
happen?
because it was maybe only like 6 or 7 episodes. They're on Hulu. You can check those out. Pick this up if you are a fan of youth and love. I don't think he is.
Skip it because there's other better things out, like literally anything else.
His score
1
for
out of
me,
10.
1 out of 10, which is 3 sizes too small from a heart that is way too small for its doughy.
Napoleon Dynamite sucks. Fight me in the comments.
Whoa! Come on! Come on! He's not amazing and he's not awesome. In fact, he's mean.
That's the sound of someone who's very bitter.
Okay, so for my final Marvel pick, you can't go wrong picking up Gwen Stacy #1. So you may have noticed that Gwen Stacy has been starring on a bunch of really awesome covers over the last couple weeks that she maybe
Last couple
doesn't.
years.
Okay, the last couple years. but-
Non-stop.
Yeah,
Is she-
but
is she
I
still
mean, like
dead,
the last
technically?
week is like a big thing. Well, no, because in the Spider-Verse, there's one version of her in one universe where she doesn't die. Peter Parker dies
Yeah, I know
instead.
that. That's Spider-Gwen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, she's Ghost Spider now.
Well, who's this Gwen Stacy?
This is just regular old Gwen Stacy. No Ghost Spider yet.
Continuity be damned. Go on.
But yeah, no, this is a really cool story that follows her and her relationship with her father, who's a cop, and kind of all her struggles with that, like her helping him solve crimes and like really pick apart cases, and you can kind of see the origins of how she could be interested in doing some crime fighting herself.
Nancy Drew?
Yeah, okay, it's got like a little bit of a Nancy Drew vibe to it, but not too hardcore. So we do have this amazing Virgin cover here. And one of my favorite things about this book is all the little goodies that you get in the back. So there is a Gwen Stacy Kid Cop cartoon. I'll show you that as well.
Oh my god.
Super cute. But wait, there's more. Okay.
Oh.
Then this
Horror.
is my favorite page of the whole book. It literally made the whole book for me. This is Gwen Stacy as every Avenger, and they're called the Agwengers. Okay, the Agwengers. Okay, isn't that amazing? And they all play different instruments because, as you know, Gwen Stacy plays the
music?
drums in a band. So since this is the Agwengers, each version, superhero version of Gwen plays a different instrument. So together they could be a superhero crime fighting team, but also a really sick band, you know? And then, of course, there's Gwen Stacy fashion in the back.
You ever have a,
why wouldn't you love this?
You ever have a car speeding towards you and there's that deer in the headlights moment?
Yeah.
That's how I felt with you describing this book. 1 out of 10.
Oh, come on. It's Gwen Stacy. First of all, look at that face. She's running for school president. Like, you can't.
Well, all right, let's backpedal.
Yeah.
All right, let me not give it a 1 out of 10 immediately. What's going on in this book?
So, Gwen Stacy
Is she running for class president or is she solving crimes with Scooby-Doo and Captain Stacy?
Can it be both? Okay.
No.
She's trying to run for class president so that she can get a scholarship because her dad only has a poor cop salary and he can't afford to send her to an Ivy League school on a cop salary. So it's a dual story.
He's Captain Stacy.
Yeah, okay. Well, you think he's balling out of control?
Captains do. New York City captains?
Another thing I really liked about this book is that there were, you got to see a lot of other Marvel Universe characters. So, like, in the first chapter, she's watching TV, and Reed Richards is on TV, like, making an announcement about something.
Does Reed Richards do anything cool in the book?
No, he's just on TV in the background. And while she's watching TV, she sees the news footage of Ben Parker getting killed. So,
As a woman, what would you rate this book?
I would rate this book an 8. I thought it was awesome. I love Gwen Stacy. I think she's super cool. I think this shows off her stylishness, her sass, her intelligence, her crime problem-solving skills. I mean, what
the difference
more
from you.
could you want?
As a person who did not read this book, or any of the books this week, it sounds like it should star Molly Ringwald. 4 out of 10.
Molly Ringwald is a treasure.
No.
Yes, Molly Ringwald is a treasure.
Yeah, Molly Ringwald.
Yeah, Molly Ringwald is a
30 years ago.
treasure.
She's a treasure. Let's make fun of her name.
Nice. Okay, so for all of those at home who were calculating the scores, I whooped their butts. Wasn't even a contest. Although Marvel does kind of make it easy for me sometimes. There are some really good books. I mean, come on, Nebula, Gwen Stacy.
I would have enjoyed Nebula. I think Gwen Stacy sounded interesting, and I envy you for being able to get through so many indies every other week.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah.
Talent.
I love indie comics, so
That
Very
Napoleon
wordy.
Dynamite book.
yeah.
Hard pass.
That was a lovely book. I enjoyed it immensely. I read it word from front to back, and I really liked
You read
it.
the words.
I
in the
read
book.
all the words
so many
in the comic
words.
book.
Yeah, so big thank you for everyone who left a comment on last week's video.
Yes,
Participating.
Silk Underwear Doom. I believe you.
Did you see the one guy who left a comment about Doom's underwear?
Silk underwear.
Yeah.
Or they would be silver.
I think his answer was like silver silk underwear. So that
And
guy
who doesn't have
obviously
those?
did not win because he didn't listen to the full rules. He got distracted by Rich's distraction rules.
It was edited out. It was much more distracting.
But yeah, so thank you to our winner, Andrew Kai. We loved your comment. We thought it was pretty amusing because I think that Alfred would want his sacred bat cookbook.
Definitely.
See, if it's a cookbook for the Bat family, is it a bat book? A cook bat book?
It's a bat cookbook.
Replace
That
salt
cookbook.
with tears.
When Master Damien gets home, he loves a little chalky milk.
That tears work wet best. Yeah, so thank you for participating. We will
Same
make
for the
sure-
dude who said I was amazing.
Can we cut down on the Rich is amazing? Because the comments that Rich is amazing, it's harder and harder to get his skull in frame.
Do you
Yeah.
realize they keep moving me out of the way here?
Yeah, it's
Get more
because
variety.
So we have another contest this week, right?
yes, it will be another signed Frank Miller Cursed book. So as you know, Cursed is a Netflix series that should be coming out soon. There's a really cool trailer for it from Netflix, but they don't quite have a release date yet. So I'm hoping it'll just show up one day. I'm gonna like come home and it'll be right there.
That's how Netflix does.
Yeah, win the book. You know, rub it in all your friends' faces like everybody does to me when a show comes out saying, I read the book.
I got the
the book.
coolest Frank Miller signed book ever.
Oh, free.
And Frank Miller was actually involved in making the Netflix show as well.
That's right.
So-
He's
That's
in the
right.
show. So it's technically an author, artist, actor signed book.
Ooh, okay, so a little bit of everything. It's a the trifecta. I was gonna say triple threat, but I switched it up. So that's awesome.
So how can they win that book?
So we have to give them a challenge this week. What should we?
Well, you won, so yours was.
Give us your
Marvel
recipe
stuff.
for Alfred's cookbook.
Oh yes, I like that. So last week we had.
It has to have bats in it, though.
Okay, yes, the best bat recipe from the Bat Cook Bat book. I don't
Can I
know.
get Caesar salad with grilled bat?
Yeah, or maybe like grilled penguin.
Grilled
No,
penguin?
grilled penguin, it would be disqualified. It doesn't have bat in it.
Roasted rubber ducky?
Ching.
So remember, leave a comment below. The comment is your entry into the contest. Make sure you have to be a subscriber to us. Make sure to like, share, and follow us on all of our social medias,
Hit the
especially
bell.
here, right here on YouTube. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you know as soon as we posted something new.
Keep commenting, Rich is awesome because favoritism's a thing.
Any
forget-
comment.